And really quick here, I don't want you to think, well, Chad, oh my God, you're talking about belief. I've heard that many, many times. And you are true. But in this video, what I'm going to do is a couple things here. One, I'm going to give you practical advice on how to increase your belief in your life. Very practical, how to do it. Now, the second thing here is what you have to understand is with belief. Belief is such a cliche, to be honest with you, because that's all we hear. All we hear is, well, Chad, you got to increase your belief, which is tied to your self-image, which is tied to your confidence, which is tied to your decisions, which is ultimately tied to how well you manifest. Okay, this is all true, but the issue with belief is we can contemplate it, we understand it, but for some reason, we don't apply it to our life. You understand? Now, let me tell you a really quick story here before we get to the practical advice I'm going to give you. Right now, really quick, I want you to think back. I want you to think back to high school. Okay, now you can think back to yourself, okay, if you were popular in high school, not popular in high school, if you played sports in high school, if you were really involved with high school or not. Okay, but I want you to think back. But see, like for myself, like I was never really into high school. Okay, I just went to school and came home. Now I was very athletic because I was into martial arts, but that was outside of high school. But in high school, I was kind of more of an outcast, a nerd, because I wasn't really into high school. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe you're watching this video and you're kind of like me, that you weren't really into high school, or maybe you were the opposite. Maybe you were really into high school, you were a jock, you were popular, you played all the sports. This is one thing I want you to see really fast, is when we look back at high school, when we look at how all the popular kids, they played all the sports, they were involved with school, involved with all the committees and all that stuff, dances and going to football games and all that jazz, okay? Isn't it weird that all the popular kids, it just seemed life at that time just worked out for them. Everybody loved them. Everybody wanted to hang out with them. Everyone wanted to be them. You understand what I'm saying? And if we take it a little bit deeper with what we're talking about right now today, when we look at the popular kids in high school, is they believed in themselves. You understand? They believed that they were the shit. I mean, did you know anybody like that? I'm sure you knew somebody like that in high school. They just believed they were a shit. They believed their shit did not stink, baby. But in the manifesting world, you got to understand that works. Because listen, their belief in themselves, they believed in themselves so much, they believed they were the shit. They believed that everybody wanted to be them. They knew they were good at their sport and good at everything. They knew it. They even believed in their decisions. Whatever decisions they made, they believed it was going to work out in their favor, didn't it? Okay. And to take it a step further, even if things didn't go their way, even if they made a bad decision, they believed everything's going to work out in their favor anyway. Even though I was kind of being funny in high school, but it's really the truth. I mean, it's the same level of belief that we have to have right now today as an adult. We got to believe that we're the shit. And this is exactly how it works. Okay, your belief is connected to your self-image, what you think about yourself. That's connected to your decisions, and that's connected to your confidence, and that's connected to your dream life and manifesting. How well manifesting is going to work for you. That's how everything's interconnected, my friends, okay? But how can we practically put this into our life? Okay, what you have to understand, and some homework I'm going to give you, is it's what you're doing throughout the day. You understand? It's your daily habits. Listen to this. Is your daily habits increasing your belief? Listen to this. Is your daily habits making you feel like a better person? You understand, my friends? See, what you got to start doing right now today is start picking things and choosing things that make you feel better. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a list off the top of my head. Maybe for some of you, when you wake up, when you dress nice, even if you dress nice professional or you dress nice casual, it shifts you. It shifts your state. Okay, it makes you feel confident. It increases your belief. Remember, if it makes you feel confident, confidence is connected to your belief, okay, which is connected to how well you're going to manifest. You understand? So if you know this is true, that's what I want you to do. Start paying close attention. When I wake up, now I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to dress my best. I'm going to dress my style, of course. I'm going to be authentic, but I'm going to dress the best. Okay? Now, for some of you, it might be going to the gym. Whatever, even if you're out of shape right now, okay? But when you go to the gym, you work out, you run, you lift weights, after you get out of the gym, you're walking like this. Even if you're out of flipping shape, you feel better. You feel more confident. You believe in yourself more. It shifts your state. That's what I want you to do, okay? For others, it might be you going and getting a manicure and pedicure like once a month, okay? If that shifts your state, if that makes you feel better, do it, okay? Even if it costs a little money, do it. Because, I mean, listen, guys, you're investing in yourself, okay? You're not investing in an expensive program. You're not investing in a personal development program, but those are very, very good. But all I'm talking about here is you're investing in yourself. For some of you out there, it might be getting your hair done every month, getting your hair cut every month. For the guys out there, it might be you want to look sharp all the time. Okay, you got a mustache and a beard. Okay, it brings up your confidence and your belief that, dude, you look badass. You look like the shit. Okay, you're always well put together. If that increases your confidence, do it. Okay. Now, one of the things I started doing since I'm out here in Surin, Thailand, is making sure I go and get my hair cut every month. Not letting my hair outgrow, okay? Even if I work at home, making sure I get up, take a shower, even if I dress casual, I look nice, okay? Increases my confidence, increases my belief. I mean, listen, maybe for some of you out there, it's keeping your house or your apartment or condo very clean, very tidy, very organized. If you're an entrepreneur or you go to work, keeping your desk, keeping your place where you work very organized and tidy increases your confidence. You understand? That's why I link, listen, that's why I link your belief is linked to your self-image, which is linked to your confidence and linked to your decisions. Okay, everything is interweaved together. So when you increase your confidence, at the same time, you're increasing your self-image about yourself, what you think about yourself, my friends. That's what you're doing. That's why this stuff is so important. And that's why, like in the beginning of the video, I say it's a cliche. Even when I used to study with Bob Proctor back in the day. Listen, guys, Bob Proctor, when you really studied with him, all he talked about was your belief in your self-image. Most of the time, he called it self-image. And you got so tired of it, you're just kind of like, I get it already. But I didn't really get it, okay? Because Bob knew everything's interlinked. You know, your belief, your self-image is linked to how you believe in yourself, which is linked to your confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, you're going to have a lower self-confidence in yourself. If you have a lower self-confidence in yourself, okay, you're not going to make good decisions. You're not going to be confident in your decisions. Okay? And that's the last thing I want you to do. I want you to start paying attention to your decisions. I want you to start paying attention to, do you make quick decisions or are you slow ass indecisive? Okay, now if you're indecisive, you need to start making fast decisions, okay? The reason, listen guys, the reason why you're indecisive is because you're not confident in you making decisions. Probably somewhere in your life, it probably came from your parents, is they made decisions for you. Okay, they didn't let you make decisions. They made decisions for you. That's why you're indecisive as an adult most of the time. So when you're indecisive, start making decisions and you become confident in your decisions. You have to be confident in yourself that, dude, nobody, listen guys, nobody else on planet Earth knows how to run your life more than you. You understand. So what you got to do with decisions, you got to believe both ways, baby. When I make a decision, that decision is going to work out for me. And even, listen to this, even if I made a bad decision, I believe the same thing. If I make a bad decision, everything works out in my favor anyway. You understand? That's the law of abundance. You know, everything works out in my favor. My name is Chad Napier. Attach your name to it. My name is Chad Napier, and everything works out for me. My name is Chad Napier, and all great things happen to me. My name is Chad Napier, and all things work out in my favor. Okay, you got to start believing that. Okay, that will help you make better decisions. Okay, just make a decision and you believe, I always make the best decisions. It always works out for me. And even if it doesn't, it's your perception anyway. You say the same thing. Even if it took like a swerve off in La La Land, you say, you know what? This circumstance is going to work out in my favor. Why is it going to work out in my favor? It's because I'm divine. I have divine right on this earth. Okay, abundance is within me. Abundance is my birthright. Source is within me. Other than that, tribe, let's wrap this up. If you have questions on this, comment below, of course. And I try my best to jump into the comments. And also, you know, check out the comments. If you want to work with me, the link is in the description. If you want to be part of the tribe, the best tribe on planet YouTube, the link is also in the description. But other than that, remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.